reeks of death.
These bodies, are these all woodland orochi?
There are more that way, hung over tree branches. And over there, the sheer number of bodies is mind-boggling.
These creatures are revered as Florum's guardians, and now the forest stands at the edge of death. Who would do this? Halt! Ranger Artemia.
Dia traitor! Traitors die!
Was it you who killed the Orochi? To make the dye?
Artemia hunts many Orochi!
And now you're poisoning human bodies and minds with the results. Has the Blood Rose Legion's purpose always been so pathetically base?
Artemia, obey! Only obey! Sister's orders, only truth!
Sister? You mean Einheria is complicit in this madness? That's not... She's a better woman than that. A noble woman!
Not for you to decide! Sister, not your possession!
I never said she was! I asked you whether Einheria truly ordered you to do this. And if she did, why did you just mindlessly obey? If she came to me, so obviously not herself, I'd have stopped her. By force if needed. You're her sister! You must have had the chance to dissuade her!
How Artemia live, not yours to say. How sister think, not yours to say. Artemia not tell sister how to think. How sister think, tell how Artemia live. Only sister tell how Artemia live.
That's no answer. You've just given up all thought. Become a puppet! Do you have any idea how many people are suffering for what you've done?
Don't care. Idia still tells sister how to live?
If what you've said is true, you and she and the whole Legion are black as pitch. I'll put a stop to this. Let me see Einheria. I'll talk sense to her.
Artemia, hunt. Hunt all prey. All in range. Artemia's prey.
Don't change the subject!
Nothing runs. Nothing escapes. As long as prey has pulse, keep firing. Never miss! Never!
Have you gone mad?
This isn't insanity. It's bloodlust. The girl's gone completely feral.
You and Ray.
What?
Ray. Chase. Hunt. Artemia. Run. Catch. Thrill. Hunger. Heart. Racing. Fire. Burn. Hands. Trembling. Hunt is on.
It's made of what? And toxic, what's more? I'll work to spread the word. With luck, this lunacy will cease soon.
We're nearly through.
Good. That was a harder hike than I thought.
Wait! What is that?
Sigh. Why do the big ones always show up at the very end? Well, better get ready.
My. Did you youngsters miss me already?
First, allow me to thank you again for your earlier aid. It allowed us to successfully awaken the Crystal of Wind.
I see. Yes, well, glad to hear I didn't work through the night in vain. Now, what brings you to me this time?
Which is why we need your help, Sage. No, allow me to call you Master. Master, the unparalleled glamour of your creations is the surest key to Agnes's victory.
Honestly, of all the reasons to bring you out here. Very well. Any one piece from my collection of 1,000 dresses strong is yours to take.
Oh, Master, words cannot express the bounds of our thanks.
Oh, and you've got a vanity with cosmetics. How convenient. May I?
Help yourself. Use anything you like.
I feel like you two are starting to spiral out of hand. Remember why we are doing this.
Let us defer to them this once. They are more knowledgeable in such things than I.
Granted. But still.
What do you think? That's an especially popular design among my works.
I've never worn anything quite so extravagant.
Vito, it's all wrong. Too showy. The outfit drowns her out. The idea is to draw out her natural beauty, not hide it.
You're a stern critic, my dear.
Master, I fear this outfit lacks conviction. It's lukewarm. Have you anything hotter?
You're a brave man, Ring-a-Bell. Perhaps too brave. But yes, perhaps the time has come to loose the seal upon the forbidden Bravo Bikini. So extreme was it that every girl to try it on instantly and irrevocably hated me without exception.
Am I dreaming?
Oh, this might be a little ambitious, illegal.
Avert your gaze, Tiz. You aren't ready. It's too much temptation.
But if you did wear it, your victory would be assured. Such is its terrible power.
Then wear it I shall. I am prepared to make any sacrifice to find Olivia.
What courage! What noble spirit! Here then, take my greatest masterpiece.
Are you certain this is clothing?
It's clothing. All I say is clothing becomes clothing.
Yes, but it's the fabric. There isn't any. Are you certain?
You spoke of the strength of your determination, Vestal. Now, to action!
I did! But that was... This isn't... If I wore this... I
Does your talk of sacrifice ring hollow so soon, Agnes? I'll also mention that my journal states Agnes wore sexy clothes. It was awesome.
Agnes, he's lying. I saw his book earlier, and it said nothing of the sort.
A word of advice? Don't choose the clothes, child. Let the clothes choose you.
But... All right, you two, that's enough. The poor girl's near her breaking point.
But what of victory? Don't you want to win?
No! I've said as much from the very beginning.
You've no desire to claim the title of most beautiful for your own?
Vestal is the only title I require.
If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. It's not as if there's any rule that says entrants have to dress sexy in the first place.
There isn't? Then I don't... this is unacceptable!
You're certain? There's no way to change your mind?
Yes! And no!
And you, Tiz? You're a teenaged boy. Have you no blood in your veins?
I feel fine.
Unacceptable!
Here lie my dreams, broken.
Crushed before they ever lived.
Sex appeal is tricky. We haven't much time before the day of the festival. We ought to be returning to Florem.
Empty-handed, for all our troubles.
I blame myself for underestimating the beast that is sex appeal.
I'm not sure there's any cause for blame. And why try to tart you up or present you as someone you're not? I say show them you, as you are. I imagine Olivia is a lot more likely to recognize you that way, too. What if you... I don't know. Why don't you wear the Vestal garb?
From the right.
Or just wear a sash saying, I'm the Vestal, assassinate me!
But who around here knows about the Vestal garb? Us four, the Sage, Olivia? That's it. Plus, I think that dress looks very pretty on you, Agnes. I mean...
Me. As I am. As the Vestal of Wind. Thank you, Tiz. You are precisely right. I shall wear the Vestal garb for the festival.
I think that's the right choice.
Well, look at you, Tiz. You little charmer.
Oh, to be young and starry-eyed again. The Vestal garb is no less a masterpiece of mine than any other. It ought serve you well enough.
You, woman!
Huh?
With the vapid look, yes.
Oh my! Now whatever is a little girl like you doing out all by herself at this hour?
I hear you're thought to be the likely winner of the upcoming Sacred Flower Festival.
I am! Aren't I pretty? Now, if you want to grow up to be pretty like me, you need your beauty sleep.
Ha! Idiotic plebe.
Now, that's not very...
A slip of the hand. I'd meant only to mar that lovely face. They really are such fragile things. Like plucking a flower And flowers so beg to be plucked. The ease of it all is a terrible bore. Don't you agree, Victor?
Just so, Victoria. Just so.
Let us hope these vestals to the crystals are more entertaining.
By my data, the likely runner-up ought to be strolling past soon. Shall we say hello, Victoria?
To the Central Plaza, the 47th Annual Sacred Flower Festival is set to begin.
We're in time.
And you've really decided not to go with this sexy swimsuit?
Wait, you still have that?
I'm quite certain, thank you. I'll wear the vessel garb, as Tiz suggested.
This is your last chance to rethink it. Agnes, I still think the world deserves to see the Bravo!
Unacceptable!
Has history ever seen so sad a day as this? No, I say, surely not! Oh!
No one who matters is sad, ring a bell.
Are you nervous? I know it's scary standing up in front of a crowd this size. But don't be scared. We'll be close by, keeping watch.
Thank you. Hearing that does lift a weight from my shoulders.
Good. Now relax and go get him.
Well, hello. Quite the dashing little dandy, eh, my friend? But pray, mistake me not. I've no interest in children, and still less in men. But yes, this is quite the merry band. 2 boys, 2 girls. Double date, is it?
Double date?
How charmingly hot-blooded. Ah, youth, look at me. You're making old Red blush. Ah, beg your pardon. That was no criticism. I'm proud, envious even. Hard to believe I was that young once. Time's remorseless arrow, eh? Now look at me. Just a sad pile of bones and flab and tarnished dreams.
I'd be happy to tear those bones up any night, De Rosa.
Stop it. We've got kids watching.
Curious. I feel a reflexive, uncontrollable revulsion.
So tell me, my little dandy.
You're addressing me?
I am. Tell me straight. Just how far have you gotten with her? What? Not even held hands? That's worrisome. You're making the Red worry. Women are fickle beasts. Another fellow comes a-courting and they're apt to flit off. Take me. If I saw an opening to chat her up, I'd have her in my pocket in minutes. Seconds.
What?
Excuse me? Are you really gonna flirt while I'm standing right here?
If you'll pardon my saying, I doubt Idea fancies shallow old men.
No need to get heated, lad. True, you have your youth and innocence and baseless confidence. As well you should. Stay just as you are. We'll see if she does the same. Just remember, it's not innocence a girl wants. It's a thrill. That and a refined technique.
Technique?
Ah, but I'm afraid you'll have to study up on that one alone. Take care.
Dear, just what manner of technique do you look for in a man?
Sorry, I'm pretending I misheard you.
Is it clever conversation? A gift for cooking? Swords and sorcery? Kissing?
Right. Now I'm pretending I didn't hear you at all.
Next up, we have entrant number 5. It's Mary.
Oh, my heart's pounding. And I'm in the audience. It's like the speech at Ansheim all over again. I nearly forgot to breathe.
She'll do fine. And we're here just in case.
Stage fright isn't the only thing worrying me. Last I heard, there were a total of 6 girls competing today. So why is Anya's entry number 9?
Where are the other 3, you mean? Maybe they panicked at the last minute?
I suppose it's possible.
The lovely Mary. Next up, number 9. Agnes.
Oh, here she comes! Agnes? Agnes!
Agnes! You're on! Go! Huh?
Entrant number 9. It's still your turn. Come on down.
Oh, right! Sorry! What was she thinking with that bland get-up?
She's clearly delusional.
I almost feel bad.
Almost.
I didn't come all the way here for this! Boo! Boo!
To my one true friend, in hopes that this may reach you. Though great distance has come between us, I consider you my friend, now as in childhood. You are a source of joy, a target of aspiration. You were ever one step ahead, but you would always stop to reach out a gentle hand to guide me. Just to see your smile and hear you speak filled my days with warmth. Yet now, I do not even know where you are. The smile you wore as a girl is still so fresh in my mind. And yet, I feel my breast will be torn asunder from worry. I want to see you again, to know that you are well. To be truthful, I am terrified without you. Even now, as a grown woman, I force myself onward, but any confidence I show is hollow deception. Every pause, every quiet moment, I feel ready to fall to my knees and wail as I did back then. Please, I feel I cannot withstand this crushing weight. I cannot manage it alone. I cannot imagine completing my task without you there, without your aid. For so long, I'd swallowed back these doubts, tried to be strong, but I fear old habits are not soon broken. I will wait for you. So please, if you are watching, tell me. Let me know you are there. Give me some small sign, and this time I will do as you once did. I will reach out my hand to you. Thank you very much.
Oh, this is ridiculous! I call foul play! How do you not have any votes?
Can't be helped. Hers was an appeal wholly out of keeping with the contest's theme.
Perhaps I ought to have worn the bikini after all.
You were just fine. You said what you came to say. The idea was never to win the contest. If Olivia heard that, I'm certain your words will move her.
I hope so. I wonder what... A letter?
Wait, is it from...
Olivia! She wrote me a letter!
See? You got through to her just fine! So, what does it say?
I heard about your appearance at the festival, though I was not able to attend. It puts my heart to ease knowing that you have also weathered this terrible crisis. I wish to meet with you as well on this, my one true friend. But I fear I am not free to move about. Behind the ruins to the west lies the hidden village of the Crystal Orthodoxy. You will find me there. Do not allow this letter to be seen by any eyes but yours. Not even the matriarch can know.
Awfully cautious, isn't she? If I trust anyone in Florem, it's the matriarch.
They must be after her too then, as we feared.
Let us go, straight away, west to the ruins and the hidden village beyond.
I trust you heard that, Victor.
Most clearly, Victoria.
Then we've little need for the Wind Vestal to continue living.
Indeed, though if I may, it seems they make for the Vestal of Water's side.
Yes, and?
They may serve us better as live baits. We let them go, give chase, and net 2 Vestals at once.
Fine, fine. So in the end, it was I who took the festival crown. Unsurprising, but amusing enough. Wouldn't you say, Victor?
Just so, Victoria. Just so.
Just what are these techniques? I stewed on it all night and came up blank. Next time I see that red character, I'm getting a demonstration, one way or another.
I'm sorry, are you? They were certainly in a hurry.
Looks like they dropped something.
Let's have a look.
That isn't yours. You oughtn't...
No, I oughtn't. And good thing I did.
Why? What does it say?
Rose to strike northern hideaway. Warn them to flee at once.
What?
Rose. The Blood Rose Legion!
Let's hurry north, to the hidden village! Good. It looks like we're in time.
Is something wrong?
Gather your families and run! This place will soon be attacked!
What? No way!
It's the truth! Now hurry!
You've gotta be kidding me!
This is no time to be laughing!
But it's too funny! How could you fall for it so easily? What? Hurry, girls! Send word to the Valkyrie!
To think so simple a snare would work on the infamous Vestal.
What's become of the people of this village? You didn't...
Gone, and not by my hand. This place was deserted. Though I cannot say whether the original inhabitants left alive or dead. Anya Soblige, Vestal of Wind, you will come with me.
We won't let that happen!
Einheria.
Do not resist. Running is futile as well. You're perfectly surrounded.
Einheria!
You've not been given leave to speak, Adia.
Friend of yours?
Why are you doing this? This isn't...
I warned you not to speak!
I'm afraid I cannot keep silent. Agnes is my friend.
Yes. I've heard all about you, Adia. Traitor to your homeland. Ally to that monster. Alternus begged me to talk sense into you. He was beside himself.
He's not. Alternus has nothing to do with this.
You and I learned the sword under the same master. We shared a vision, a dream. We swore our blades to the service of Eternia, and pledged to fight for her future. Yet here you stand, A traitor!
I had to.
To free mankind from thraldom before the crystals. To create a new world where all can live in peace. These are the tenets of the Grand Marshal's philosophy. The same that you denied when you betrayed your homeland and spat in the face of your father. Why, Adia?
I knew nothing before. I was innocent, ignorant. But no longer. I've seen the world with my own eyes, judged right from wrong for myself. And now I can say with all confidence, you are wrong. All of you. The Council, the Forces, the Legion, none of you are making people's lives better. You burn cities down, bleed people dry for money. One atrocity after another.
You mean to deny your own father? Just like that?
Yes. I don't understand what he's thinking. I can't accept it.
What have you been looking at this whole time? The Vestal's illusions?
I know what I've seen. I'll let no one deny it, not even you.
This is my final warning. Return to your father's side, Adia.
I cannot. I won't. I can never go back to the Eternian forces.
The Grand Marshal's orders were to eliminate any obstacle.
Father!
Your words have made this clear. You are an obstacle before me, Adia. I'll not hold back. Your treason ends now! You've grown stronger.
Einheria.
Why do you weep? You've bested me. Be proud.
I never wanted.
Adia, hear me now. My final request. Meet with him, with your father, face to face. No more intermediaries. Look at him. Look at him, and you'll see it. What he seeks. I know.
I will. I swear it to you.
Good. That's good, my sisters. You've come to guide me.